lovies, welcome back to the channel Dominique Unscripted. I'm your host, Dominique Danielle. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, you like what you hear, you like what you see, hit the like button and don't forget to drop comments and share. Thanks. So it is the first episode of Dominique Unscripted and I'm so excited. We're going to be talking all things movies, TVs, books, fragrances, and everything in between. Okay? So to start off today's episode, we're going to start with the movie Ruth and Boaz. And off the top, I liked it. It was a cute movie. It was a retelling of Ruth and Boaz from the Bible. This movie is the 2025. You can find it on streaming on Netflix, produced by Tyler Perry and directed by Alana Brown. This movie stars Tyler LaPlante as Bo, Soraya McNeil as Ruth, everybody's favorite TV mama, Felicia Rashad as Naomi, and James Lee Thomas as Cyrus. So this movie was really cute, and it's a modern day retelling, like I said. So Ruth is our main character, our main female, and she gets into a little bit of trouble. She's running from this guy named Cyrus because she decided that she didn't want to do the record deal that he had in place for her with her and her cousin, because it wasn't what she had aligned for her life. It wasn't morally what she wanted to do. She just wasn't feeling the music that she was producing with him. So she left. And I don't blame her, because why would you stay in something that doesn't benefit you? It's not feeding your soul, right? Right. So she leaves, but he says, nah, you owe me a lot of money. You costing me a lot of money. You can't leave until you get that back for me. So she has to leave in secret. And he is determined to seek revenge and get his get back. So he follows her everywhere she goes. She ends up leaving town. I'm sorry if this is spoiler alerts. Well, I guess I should have said that from the beginning, because I'm telling quite a little bit about Ruth and Boaz. Well, spoiler alert if it is, okay? She leaves. She ends up leaving with Naomi, and she has no relation to Naomi, but she leaves with her. And where do they go? I don't remember. They go to a small country town, and they become really good friends, really close. She becomes this mother figure to Ruth. Ruth then meets a guy working, trying to have some income come in for her, and Naomi, she meets Boaz. Boaz is Bo is a stand-up guy. He has his head on straight. He likes Ruth. He sees something in her that he wants, so he pursues her, and he ends up opening up all these new possibilities for her. She ends up meeting Babyface. They come to, like, it's a really good story, and I would watch it again. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead, sign into your Netflix and check out Ruth and Boaz. Alright, so next up we have Max Steel. That's, while I was sitting on the sofa, it popped up. I said, okay, let me give it a go. Max Steel stars Ben Winchell as Max McGrath. You have Maria Bello as Molly McGrath, Andy Garcia as Dr. Miles Edwards, and Josh Brenner as the voice of Steel. Director Stuart Handler, and written by Christopher Yost. So to me, Max Steel is Superman meets Iron Man. If you watch it, you'll get why. And Max Steel, who is actually Max McGrath, he is a teenage boy who is tired of moving around with his mother. They've been moving from place to place, city to city, since his father's death. And thanks to the convincing by Dr. Miles Edwards, he convinces moms, hey, y'all come on home. Let's, it's time for you to come home. So that's what they do. But when they get there, strange things start happening to Max. Floaty things start coming out his fingers. He's breaking things. Electrical sockets are exploding. Phones stop working. All that jazz. And he has no clue why. So he turns to who? Dr. Miles Edwards, because that's a friend. He worked with his father. So of course, he would know the answers. Because when this all started happening, this big electric floating ball thing finds him and tells him, hey, I'm your protector. Your daddy sent me, I think. But because he doesn't really remember. So because of that, he goes back to Dr. Miles, say, hey, you work with my dad. Can you help me? And of course, he says, yes, you've come to the right place. No, he did not. So it was all the setup. Dr. Miles was not a good man. He was not a good man. But the mama, she said, oh no, you can't have my son. You did all of this. We coming for you. And so that's how that movie went. Of course, there's a lot in between of all of that. Go ahead and watch it. It's a cute movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7.5. I give it a 7.5. So go ahead, check it out. Now, since we're talking movies, your girl just finished a photo shoot for a movie that I filmed earlier this year called Fatal Promises. I did that over the weekend. Had a lot of fun. I wore emerald green with gold accessories. I was looking fabulous. And we had a good time, me and the rest of the cast, and the director was there doing her thing. So Fatal Promises, I believe, should be coming out in maybe end of this year, early next year. I'm looking forward to it. It follows a young woman who suffers with mental instability. I don't want to say too much. I can't say too much, but mental health is very important. So it's going to be a very interesting movie. I think you guys are going to love it. And what else is new? I've been casted in two movies. Y'all don't understand. Like, this is really big. I think this is the most I have worked consistently on a film, like back to back to back. This is so cool. I've done theater, I've done stage plays, and that's probably maybe twice a year. I've done that when I first started out, and to have coming into film and having this consistent work in this time is pretty exciting to me. Okay, so the first film up will be Transcend. I'll be playing Grandma Mill. Yes, I know. I'm gonna be that grandma, the cool lady. The grandma that don't mess with my babies. That's gonna be me. But I'll start, we'll start filming that on later on in the month. That's when that happens. And then we have the next film up, which will be Black Web of Secrets. And we won't start filming that one until January of 2026, and I'm so excited. I think this may be the first time that I set out, because you audition for roles that you want, but sometimes that might not be who the director sees for you. And this time around, I saw the character and I was like, that's who I want. I went over the sides, I practiced, and I got it. And I'm so excited. And I will be Harlow. That is the character. Yes, that's also the name of my dog. And I'm excited because I really wanted that role and I got it. So I'm happy. And so be on the lookout for that coming in 2026. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Outside of me being an actress, you guys know I'm also a flight attendant. I just got back from a trip where I overnighted in New York and Kansas City. So I had a good time out with my coworkers. When you have a good crew, it makes so much difference. If you have a good crew you can laugh with, you can joke with, it makes the day go by. And that's what I had on this past trip. We overnighted in New York, and then Kansas City. I didn't do anything in Kansas City because, baby, I was tired. Okay, and all I wanted to do, they call it being a slam clicker, and that's exactly what it was. I slam clicked. I warmed up my food because it was down in the lobby. I warmed up my food, went up to my room, slammed the door, clicked the lock. Slam clicker. Okay, that's what I did in Kansas City. But that first night in New York, a time was had. We went over to the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. And if you haven't been to one, go ahead, check it out. They have 3 locations in the state. In the States, you have Seattle, Chicago, and New York. You also have Milan, Shanghai, and Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. So if you in Tokyo, Shanghai, Milan, go check it out. So the Roastery has all kinds of coffees, sandwiches. You could also get alcoholic drinks at the Roastery. The merchandise that you can purchase is different than your regular Starbucks store on the corner. So my thing to get in this time, I don't know if it's going to be a seasonal thing. It's a limited offer, limited time being. I don't know. But they have a whiskey coffee. I think the beans have been roasted in whiskey barrels, but it gives a smooth finish. It's so smooth. It tastes like you may have had a drop of whiskey in there, but it's not, and it's so good. And they paired it with the pumpkin spice. So that is what I had. I had the pumpkin spice cold brew latte, and it was amazing. My coworker, she had a flight for herself. She actually had alcohol in her beverages, and she loved them. I think she said her favorite one was because they were espresso martinis, and I think her favorite one was the last one that she sampled, which was the whiskey cold brew coffee that was used to make that espresso. She also had an olive oil cake. I really just was there for the ambiance and my cold brew latte, because I had it first in Chicago and it was so good. That bag of coffee is $42.
Wait, did you say olive oil cake?
Yes.
What is olive oil cake?
Olive oil cake, I guess you just use olive oil to make the cake.
So it tastes like olive oil.
No, it doesn't taste like olive oil.
Cake,
yeah.
Use olive oil.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. So the first time I had this drink was when we were in Chicago and we went to the Roastery there. That Starbucks Reserve was what, 4 levels, 4 or 5 levels. They had 5 levels. They had a small outdoor area on the 5th level. It was just okay, nothing really to write home about. If you want to sit outside, okay, cool. It was just okay. I'd rather sit inside. On each level, there was like a bar, and you could order your food. They had sandwiches, pastries, flatbread pizzas, all the things. You're not getting that at your regular Starbucks, but you do have some of the things. So the same thing in New York with the they have 3 levels, the main level, then one lower level and one higher level, which it's not really a full, like, you don't have to walk up a bunch of steps to get to it, maybe 10, and it's the next level. And same thing when you go down. But anyway, the stores are beautiful. The things that they have in there, the merchandise in there that you can purchase is really cool. I'm a mug person. I love the mugs. I love the glasses. I love the cups. You'll probably see some when I do continue on. And some other episodes, you'll probably see plenty of mugs throughout. Okay, I think I have a nice collection going on. So yeah, once we left the Starbucks Reserve, we were told about the High Line. So the High Line, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, is an old railroad track that they have repurposed into greenscape. So they have planters, greenery, seating areas, and it's up high. It's elevated. Let me not say up high. It's elevated, and you have a straight shot walking the High Line. You get great views of the city, the high rises. It was really nice out. The sun was setting. It was a cool breeze. I got some really good pictures of the apartment buildings and office buildings throughout. And there was this one spot where you could sit over the street and just look out and get some great pictures and just chill and relax. All in all, it was a really great, baby. We walked. When I tell you I got my steps in, I got my steps in. Yeah. And we finished it off in Times Square, where everybody is. We saw these performers flipping, dancing, doing what they do in Times Square. So my overnight in New York, Times Square, was amazing. I had a really good time. And then the next day, I rested. Moving right along, we're going to get into what I'm reading. So I found this author on TikTok, and he has written a book called Falling Roses. And it's by, his name is, I found this author on TikTok by the name of Nair. I think I'm saying that wrong, but he goes by Rashad. Okay. It's written by Rashad, and it's called Fallen Roses. And it's a 2-book series. The first book is out. The second book has just recently been released. And it is called, where is it? Fallen Roses 2, Bloodlines of Ash. You can find these books on Kindle Unlimited, Amazon. I'm sure you can get them wherever you get your books or online books. You should check it out. So far, I'm only up to chapter 3 in book 1. This book takes place in New Orleans, 2044, where we find Darius, a centuries-old vampire, caught between duty and desire. I'm a vampire werewolf girl, so of course that caught my eye. And so far, like I said, I'm on chapter 3, and I like the writing style. I like the words, the descriptions, and the way he's kind of weaving it together, the way he's going back to give you a little bit of the backstory without overwhelming you with a bunch of history. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot, it's enough to get you so you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. So this is where it started. Just enough. And moving forward. So I'm interested to see how the rest of the book plays out. I like vampires. And they are vampires of melanin, okay? Being in New Orleans. So if you have it, so if you get the chance, go ahead, check out Fallen Roses by Rashad. You can find him on TikTok, and he goes by the Rashad Experience on TikTok. Okay, go ahead, look him up. And as always, we're going to end with my scent of the day. Excuse me if I butcher how to pronounce this, but you have Haramain, Emotion, Irisee, or Irisee. Okay. Huh? Okay. This is, you have Haramain. You have Haramain, Emotion, Irisee. I don't know, but you see it here. The packaging, the box is really cute, really pretty. Has a little tab. You pull this out like so, and look at this bottle. Very pretty bottle. Let's check out the atomizer. Very nice. Smell it already. This is a unisex fragrance. It says it's unisex, but I see it more as a woman's fragrance. You get those top notes of lavender, pear, bergamot. The middle notes whipped cream, coconut, praline, and vanilla vanilla orchid. And then you have the base notes of musk and woody notes. Now, this is a very light scent. I probably should be wearing it in the spring, summer, early summer months, because when I tell you I sprayed and doused my body today, I did, but it didn't wear long. It's probably one of those fragrances you'll probably have to reapply a couple of times a day depending on what you're doing. But it's a very nice scent. I'm definitely gonna keep this, but since we're heading into the fall, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the shelf and wait up until springtime to pop this baby back out again. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in and joining me on Dominique Unscripted. So until next time,